The mystery of Mitchell Hedges' crystal skull begins in 1924 when British adventurer Frederick Mitchell Hedges led an expedition to the jungles of British Honduras, now Belize. During excavations at Lebanton, he and his daughter Anna found something that would challenge the laws of science. An artifact carved from pure quartz, flawless even in its smallest details. An object that, to this day, continues to intrigue archaeologists and scientists around the world. Its origin, creation, and purpose remain a mystery that has never been fully explained. The skull is incredibly detailed, with no signs of modern tools or any indication of the technology available at the time of its discovery. But what shocks experts even more is the perfection of the sculpture. The level of clarity and precision with which it was crafted could not have been achieved without advanced techniques that simply did not exist in 1924, and even less in the ancient civilizations that might have supposedly produced such a piece. Further research revealed something even stranger. Mitchell Hedges' crystal skull emits a kind of energy field, which some claim has mysterious properties, such as altering the perception of the environment and even influencing the mental state of those who gaze at it for long periods. Scientists who attempted to replicate the piece in the laboratory encountered insurmountable difficulties, unable to imitate with accuracy the transparency and internal structure of the crystal. What makes this object so unique? Could it be a product of extraterrestrial technology or a relic from a lost civilization far more advanced than ours? According to some experts, the skull could be an artifact with a much deeper purpose than a mere archaeological object. Some call it an ancestral computer, capable of storing and transmitting information in ways we do not yet fully understand. But what exactly could this information contain? Could it be a map, a set of data about Earth's past, or even a warning for humanity? The fact that its origin remains obscure only increases suspicions that we are facing something much greater than we can imagine. Meanwhile, an even greater mystery arises: the very origin of the skull. Was it created by the Mayan civilization, as many believe, or was it a gift from extraterrestrial civilizations whose advanced technologies have been forgotten over time? Many wonder, how could such an extraordinary object with such complexity have been made without modern tools, or even without the knowledge of ancient civilizations? But the story of the skull doesn't end with its discovery. Over the following decades, numerous reports and testimonies from those who came into contact with the artifact emerged, with claims of unusual or even supernatural experiences. People who spent time with the skull reported visions, premonitions, and in some cases, even the emergence of unexplained phenomena around them. These reports, however, were often ignored or dismissed by the scientific community. Now, more than a century after the discovery of Mitchell Hedges' crystal skull, the question persists: who created it and why? Are we facing an artifact of long-lost technology, or is this object part of an even greater mystery, involving beings from outside our planet? The truth about the skull remains hidden, and many believe its true nature is still far from being unraveled. What we do know is that Mitchell Hedges' crystal skull continues to be one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the modern world. And as new investigations arise and new clues emerge, the question persists: if this skull really exists, what does it represent? And more importantly, what is still hidden behind this discovery? In 1994, archaeologist Klaus Schmidt made one of the most impactful discoveries in the history of archaeology when he found the site of Göbekli Tepe, located in Potbelly Hill, Turkey. This ancient megalithic complex, over 11,600 years old, challenges everything we understand about the origins of civilization. It is considered much older than known civilizations such as Sumer and Egypt. The stone pillars, which weigh several tons, are meticulously carved with figures of animals and enigmatic symbols. But what is most impressive is the complexity of the site, with precise astronomical alignments and structures that require an advanced level of knowledge for that time. Göbekli Tepe directly challenges the established historical narrative. Conventional archaeology believes that the first organized societies began to emerge around 3000 BC in great civilizations of the Middle East, such as Mesopotamia. However, the site of Göbekli Tepe is thousands of years older, suggesting that a much more advanced society existed far earlier than we had imagined. The monuments found at the site do not resemble the primitive constructions that history typically attributes to the first civilizations. Instead, they reveal a remarkable degree of planning and execution, with technical skills that seemed impossible for that era. The purpose of Göbekli Tepe remains one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Some scholars believe the site may have been a religious center or a place of worship, given the nature of the symbols and the grandeur of the structures. Others suggest the site was used for astronomical observations, with precise alignments indicating a profound understanding of the movement of celestial bodies. The fact that the site was deliberately buried after its construction raises questions about what the ancient inhabitants of Göbekli Tepe wanted to hide. This suggests that the monuments may have had a meaning beyond what we can understand. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe raises the hypothesis that a highly developed civilization existed long before those we know. These people may have possessed skills and knowledge that were beyond the capabilities of contemporary societies of the time. The level of architectural sophistication and astronomical precision indicates that these people may have left behind a legacy of knowledge that was lost over time. Could the monuments at Göbekli Tepe be the last remnants of an advanced civilization that was destroyed by a cataclysm? The answer to this question continues to elude scholars. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe forced archaeologists and historians to reconsider the origins of civilization. Many now question if we are misinterpreting the remnants that remain from such ancient periods. The site of Göbekli Tepe challenges the idea that the evolution of human societies was a linear process. Instead, it suggests that cycles of rise and fall of more advanced civilizations may have occurred long before the stories we learn in schools. What else could we be ignoring about humanity's true history? Göbekli Tepe remains one of the greatest mysteries of modern archaeology. Its discovery has shed light on the possibilities that ancient civilizations possessed advanced knowledge long before we thought. What is hidden beneath these ancient stones? What is the true purpose of these monumental structures? The enigma remains, and the history of humanity may need to be rewritten as new discoveries challenge the established narratives. Some researchers propose that before the last ice age, a highly advanced mother civilization existed and passed on its knowledge to the more primitive societies that emerged after a global collapse. This idea challenges our traditional understanding of human prehistory, suggesting that humanity's ancestors were not as primitive as we have been led to believe. According to this theory, the remnants of this ancient civilization can still be found in monuments and structures scattered across the globe, including the mysterious site of Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe may not just be a religious or ceremonial site but also an archive left behind by the descendants of this lost civilization. The knowledge encoded in the pillars, the alignment of celestial bodies, and the intricate carvings may serve as a form of communication from a bygone culture to those who came after. It could be a message of survival, a warning, or a legacy of wisdom that was meant to guide future generations. Could this knowledge have been passed down through secretive traditions, preserved in the form of oral history, and now reflected in the monuments we uncover? The idea of a mother civilization implies that our ancestors were not starting from scratch when they began building their own cultures. They inherited wisdom from a previous society that had achieved great feats in technology, architecture, and astronomy. This passing of knowledge could explain the sudden rise of advanced cultures such as Sumer and Egypt, which appeared almost out of nowhere in the historical record. The rapid development of these civilizations may have been the result of inheriting the teachings of a long-lost, more advanced culture. But why would this civilization have been lost? One possibility is that a global catastrophe, such as a cosmic impact or environmental disaster, wiped out the mother civilization, leaving only fragments of its knowledge behind. The survivors of this catastrophe would have been left to rebuild their societies from scratch, using the remnants of the advanced knowledge they inherited. Over time, these survivors could have adapted this knowledge to their own cultures, leading to the rise of new civilizations across the world. However, the true origin of this knowledge remained obscured, hidden beneath layers of history and myth. If the mother civilization theory is true, it could mean that our entire understanding of the development of human culture is flawed. The idea that humanity started from primitive roots, slowly developing over millennia, may be a misconception. Instead, we may have inherited a vast and ancient knowledge base that was passed down through generations, hidden in plain sight in the monuments, myths, and symbols that survive today. Could we be overlooking an entire chapter of our history, one that has been deliberately obscured to keep us from understanding the true origins of human civilization? Göbekli Tepe and other ancient monuments may hold the key to unlocking this hidden history. The carvings, alignments, and architectural marvels of these sites may be remnants of a forgotten civilization, designed not only as monuments but as a message to future generations. Could it be that the knowledge of this lost culture has been passed down, encoded in these structures, waiting to be rediscovered? And if we uncover it, what does it mean for the story of human history? There is a growing theory that our true history is being deliberately concealed by powerful institutions, governments, and elites. The idea is that the true origins of humanity and its advanced achievements are being suppressed to maintain control over the masses. If the ancient monuments like Göbekli Tepe, the Egyptian pyramids, and Pumapunku were built by a forgotten civilization, the truth behind their construction could challenge the very foundation of our historical narrative. These structures may not simply be relics of ancient cultures, but cryptic messages encoded to warn future generations about the dangers of repeating past mistakes. It is possible that these ancient monuments represent an effort to preserve knowledge that was too dangerous for the powers that be to allow humanity to fully comprehend. If we were to understand the true origins of these structures and the knowledge they hold, it could lead to the unraveling of the story that has been passed down through generations. Those in power may want to keep this knowledge hidden to prevent mass upheaval and maintain the established status quo. The question is, why would such a cover-up exist, and who would benefit from it? The idea that the true history of humanity is being actively suppressed raises significant questions about our education, our cultural narratives, and the information that is available to the public. Many believe that the mainstream narrative is deliberately constructed to avoid revealing uncomfortable truths about the past. Governments and academic institutions may have intentionally rewritten history to present a version of events that is easier to control and that aligns with political or ideological goals. By maintaining this historical narrative, those in power can shape the way we think about our origins, our potential, and our place in the world. If it were revealed that an advanced civilization existed long before our recorded history, it could challenge the very concept of human progress. It could mean that we are not the first to achieve such feats, and that our understanding of civilization and culture is fundamentally flawed. Such revelations could inspire a re-evaluation of our current societal structures, which could be destabilizing to the powers that hold sway over global affairs. Some theorists suggest that this suppression of knowledge is not a recent development, but has been occurring for centuries. The deliberate destruction of ancient texts, the burning of libraries, and the suppression of alternative histories throughout the ages may all be part of a concerted effort to erase the truth. Monuments like the pyramids, which have been preserved through time, may hold clues that could reveal this hidden history, but they also serve as a constant reminder that the true story of humanity has been obscured. Could it be that these monumental sites are meant to remind us of the knowledge we've lost, and perhaps are still being actively prevented from rediscovering? As the mystery deepens, the question remains, what is being hidden and why? The monuments, the ancient texts, and the symbols could all hold pieces of a puzzle that, if solved, would completely alter our understanding of human history. The possibility that our history has been deliberately manipulated by those in power opens up a wealth of potential revelations, if only we can uncover the truth. The Pillar 43 of Göbekli Tepe is one of the most enigmatic artifacts ever discovered. This pillar encodes constellations and presents symbols that could represent catastrophic events. With a dating of around 10,900 to 10,800 BC, it aligns with a time of significant climatic and environmental shifts that coincided with the end of the last ice age. Some researchers suggest that this pillar could be a coded message, an ancient warning directed at future generations about a global cataclysm, possibly caused by a cosmic impact. The possibility of such a warning raises a crucial question. Could this pillar have been built to preserve knowledge of an impending catastrophe? The symbols and engravings found on the pillar suggest that the creators of Göbekli Tepe were not only highly skilled in architecture but also well-versed in astronomy. The constellations depicted on the pillar are consistent with celestial knowledge, which indicates that these people may have had a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos. This level of expertise challenges conventional views of early human civilizations, suggesting that they might have had access to advanced knowledge, much of which has been lost to history. Were these symbols part of a larger, purposeful communication about cosmic cycles and the dangers they pose? In addition to astronomical references, the Pillar 43 may contain a deeper, more troubling message. The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, which posits that a comet or asteroid impact around 12,900 years ago triggered a sudden global cooling event, could be linked to the pillar's coded symbols. This event is believed to have caused widespread destruction and mass extinctions, wiping out much of a previously advanced civilization. Could the pillar be warning future generations about the possibility of such a devastating cosmic impact recurring? If the pillar's symbols are indeed warnings about past cataclysms, then they serve a critical purpose. They might be seen as a form of knowledge preservation, intended to ensure that future civilizations would recognize the signs of impending disaster. The idea that the builders of Göbekli Tepe were aware of such celestial threats and took steps to protect this knowledge suggests a level of foresight and wisdom that was far ahead of their time. Perhaps the warnings left behind are more relevant to our current world than we realize. The possibility that the Pillar 43 is a time capsule of ancient knowledge challenges the way we think about history. If these ancient builders were aware of catastrophic cosmic events, they may have left behind warnings to ensure humanity could survive them. The question arises, could this knowledge have been deliberately concealed or overlooked by modern scholars, leaving us vulnerable to repeating the same mistakes? What if the events of the past are not as distant as we think, and the message on this pillar holds the key to understanding our future survival? As the cosmic threat posed by an impact event is still very much a possibility, it's possible that humanity has once again ignored the signs. Perhaps the Pillar 43 is a call to action, urging us to pay attention to the clues left behind by those who came before us. If this knowledge is indeed as urgent as it seems, then we must ask ourselves, are we prepared to face the consequences of ignoring the warnings from the past? Around 12,900 years ago, Earth experienced a catastrophic event known as the Younger Dryas, a sudden global cooling that interrupted the planet's warming cycle after the last ice age. This cooling period was followed by rapid melting of glaciers, significantly altering the climate and ecosystem. Many researchers propose that this abrupt climate shift was triggered by a comet or asteroid impact, which could have caused massive wildfires, tsunamis, and widespread environmental destruction. The event wiped out much of the megafauna, such as mammoths, and contributed to the collapse of early human civilizations, drastically changing the course of history. The Younger Dryas is a pivotal moment in our planet's history, marking a transition from a warmer, more stable climate to an era of extreme instability. Evidence of this event can be found in layers of sediments around the world, where signs of fire and high concentrations of iridium, a metal commonly associated with asteroid impacts, have been discovered. These findings point to a cataclysmic event that could have been both sudden and devastating. What if the Younger Dryas was not just a random climate fluctuation, but the result of an external cosmic force that humans were not prepared for? This event's impact on early civilizations is still debated, but many suggest that it could explain the sudden disappearance of advanced cultures that existed prior to the Younger Dryas. As these civilizations relied heavily on agriculture and settled communities, the rapid environmental changes would have left them vulnerable to collapse. Could the survivors of this global disaster have left behind remnants of their knowledge, embedded in the monuments we still see today, like Göbekli Tepe or the pyramids of Egypt? Was the world as we know it truly shaped by the aftermath of a cosmic cataclysm? The rapid cooling caused by the Younger Dryas would have had dire consequences for the planet's ecosystems, leading to the extinction of many species that were unable to adapt. The human populations that lived through this period would have faced enormous challenges, including food shortages, habitat destruction, and the loss of technological advancements. The collapse of ancient civilizations during this time might explain why much of their knowledge was lost, leaving only scattered artifacts and monuments that now puzzle modern researchers. What if the cataclysmic events of the Younger Dryas were not just a historical anomaly, but part of a recurring cycle that humanity has failed to recognize? Ancient cultures might have been more aware of these cyclical cosmic events than we are today. Could the sudden collapse of advanced civilizations, such as those that may have existed before the Younger Dryas, be a warning that we are once again at risk of facing a similar global disaster? The idea that our modern world is vulnerable to the same fate suggests that humanity has yet to fully comprehend the forces that shaped our past and continue to influence our future. As the evidence continues to surface, it's becoming clear that the Younger Dryas was not just a random event, but a transformative moment in history that could hold critical lessons for us today. Could the catastrophic end of this era have been predicted by ancient civilizations? And if so, could those who survived have left behind warnings for future generations? The possibility that our ancestors understood the cyclical nature of cosmic disasters invites us to reconsider our place in history and the true significance of the monuments they left behind. The ancient monuments that remain today, such as Göbekli Tepe, the pyramids of Egypt, and Pumapunku, are not merely relics of a distant past. They may be silent witnesses to a lost civilization that possessed technology and wisdom far beyond what we thought possible for their time. These structures have withstood millennia of natural and human-made destruction, suggesting they were built to endure, not just as symbols of power, but as repositories of knowledge for future generations. Many of these monuments are aligned with astronomical precision, pointing to a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos that challenges everything we know about ancient peoples. Göbekli Tepe, in particular, stands as a testament to this lost civilization, with its massive stone pillars and intricate carvings that depict animals and symbols. The site's age, dating back over 11,000 years, far predates the emergence of known civilizations such as the Sumerians or Egyptians. Its purpose remains a mystery, but it is clear that it was built by people who understood the importance of celestial events and had advanced knowledge of architecture. Could this site, and others like it, be a message left behind by a civilization that was lost to time? If so, what knowledge did they want future generations to uncover? The alignment of these ancient structures with celestial bodies, such as the solstices and equinoxes, indicates a deep understanding of the movements of the stars and planets. This suggests that the people who built them were not only skilled engineers but also had a profound connection to the natural world and the cosmos. Could these monuments be more than just markers of power or religious significance? Could they be records of a time when humanity was more in tune with the forces of nature and the universe? And if so, why have we lost this connection? As researchers continue to study these sites, they are uncovering evidence that these ancient monuments were designed with specific purposes in mind. Some theorists propose that they served as a form of astronomical observatory, allowing early humans to track the cycles of the heavens. Others suggest that these monuments were built as part of a larger network of knowledge sharing, connecting distant cultures through a shared understanding of the cosmos and the natural world. What if these monuments were intended to be more than just physical structures, but symbols of a greater, hidden truth that was deliberately obscured by those who came after? The possibility that these ancient monuments are not just relics of a lost civilization but are part of an ongoing legacy that spans millennia raises important questions about our own place in history. Could it be that humanity has forgotten more than we realize, and that these monuments hold the key to rediscovering lost knowledge? If the knowledge of ancient civilizations was deliberately hidden, who had the power to suppress it, and why? As we continue to study these monuments, we may find that they contain more than just clues to the past. They may hold answers to the mysteries of our own time. In conclusion, the ancient monuments that still stand today may be far more than just remnants of a bygone era. They could be key to understanding a lost civilization that possessed knowledge far beyond what we can comprehend. As we uncover more about these structures, we may be forced to reconsider the true history of humanity and the wisdom that has been concealed for millennia. The legacy of these ancient builders may still be with us, waiting to be unlocked and understood. As we unravel the mysteries of a lost civilization, one question remains: what really happened to it? What can these ancient structures and artifacts, like the Pillar 43 of Göbekli Tepe, teach us about humanity's forgotten past? Every stone and every symbol seems to tell a story of long-lost wisdom, left behind in a world that didn't survive the cataclysm that destroyed it. If the truth about this advanced civilization was indeed hidden, who are the ones responsible for concealing this knowledge and why? As archaeologists and researchers continue to seek answers, one question still lingers in the air. What else is hidden in the shadows of the past, waiting to be revealed? Are we only scratching the surface of a mystery that could redefine all of human history? And you, what do you think about all of this? Is our civilization deliberately ignoring the lessons of a distant and wiser past? Or are we just beginning to realize the true extent of what was lost? If you're also curious to discover more about the hidden secrets of our history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any mystery. Share it with your friends and join us in the search for the truth. What else are we about to discover?